So, hello guys and welcome back to PY Coding India Python Masterclass series. And in the today's session, we are gonna talk that what are data structures in Python. And in the previous video, we have discussed that what are loops in Python. So if you wanna watch it, I'm going to leave the link in the description below. So without any further delay, let's get started. So what are data structures in Python? Types of data structures in Python that is provided by default and how to implement them. This is going to be our agenda for this video. And since there are a lot of advanced data structures in Python like stacks, queues, trees, graphs, priority queues, etc. So if you want that I should make a different video for that, please do comment in the comment section below. Data structures are basically a way of storing data in a specific manner, which helps us to manipulate it or use it easily later. So, to explain it to you in very simple terms, let us take a real life example again. So, for example, if your mom gives you a list that go and buy different things from the market, right? So, if you try to memorize whatever things that she is going to tell you, so it is a high chance that you will forget to buy some of the things when you come home back, right? So to avoid such situations, we mostly write things down, like we want an apple, a kilo banana, right? So we write such kind of tasks. So this is also a type of data structure. Why? Because actually you are storing the data in a specific manner, which is actually the ordered manner. So when you are buying thing, so you are going to cut off it from your list, and if you need something you are going to add it at the end of your list, right? So this is also a type of a data structure. Now what are the type of data structures in Python? So the type of data structures in Python are list, tuple, dictionary and sets, and I'm going to make a separate video for each type of data structure. So today we are going to learn that what is list. So guys, list is used to store sequential and ordered collection of data. So for example, if you have to store name of 5 cars, for example, Amaze, Swift, I-20 or many more, right? So you can store that in a list. Now it is going to maintain the same order in which you are going to store the data, right? And how can we access each kind of data? So to access each kind of data, we have a specific address for each one of them, which is basically known as the index, and each element in our list is known as the item. And how can we implement the list? We can actually implement it by using the square brackets. So let me show you its implementation, and we also have many different functions that we can use with it. So guys, we can basically implement a list by using the square brackets, right? So we are going to first of all make a list which contain names of different cars, right? So to create it, we are going to name the list as cars, and we can initialize a list by using the square brackets, right? And since we are going to store each element as a string, so how to store that? So suppose our first element is amaze, right? The second one is Thar, third is XUV, the fourth one is Kia, and the fifth one is Tiago, right? So each element over here is actually known as an item, and to access any kind of a specific element we can use index. So here the index starts from 0, right? So the index of the first element is 0, the second element is 1, the third element is 2, the fourth element is 3, and the fifth element is 4. So guys, if you are thinking that why are we having the index starting from 0, so basically this is a convention that developers have followed, right? So suppose we want to extract the element xuv, right? So its index would be 0, 1, 2. So its index would be 2. So to access it, we are going to use this, right? So using a square brackets, if we specify the index, we can get the specific element. So if we try to just print it, see, we are getting the output xuv, right? Now we can perform various tasks on a list, which are insertion, deletion, traversal, right? So to insert any element at the last of a list, we can use the function append. So basically guys, what append function is going to do, it is going to append any element that we specify in the brackets at the last. So suppose if we use the wrv, right? So now if we try to just print cars, as you can see, we have got the wrv at the last. Now guys, if we want to insert the element at a specific index, right? So suppose if we want to insert it at the index 1, right? So we can use the function insert, and over here we have to specify two arguments. So the first one is the index, which is going to be 1, and second is going to be the element. So now if we try to print this, as you can see, at the first element we are having Swift, right? Now if we want to remove a specific element, right? So if we do cast.pop, so what pop is going to do, it is actually going to remove Tiago, that is the last element of any list, right? So now if we try to print it, see, this time we have Amaze, Thar, XUV and Kia, because Tiago is automatically removed. Next thing that we can use is remove. So in remove, we actually have to give the element that we want to remove. So suppose if we want to remove the XUV, right? So now if we try to print it, see, we have removed the XUV. Now guys, suppose if we have any empty list. So for example, if we have a list like numbers, which is empty. Now if we want to add any element later, right? So we cannot use the insert function again and again, or the append function again and again. So let us try to use a loop with it. So first of all, we need to get the size. So we are going to take the input as n, which is going to be the number of elements needed in num. And then we can use the for loop, right? So for I in range 0 to n, what we can do is we can take any element, for example k. So at k we are going to take input, enter the number you want to insert. right? And then we can just print out of loop to show that we have exited from the loop, right? But guys, we actually haven't appended it into the num list, so we have to use the function num dot append, and whatever we are going to get in k, we have to append it in the num list. So 20, 33, 45 out of loop, right? Now if we just try to print the num, see, we are having all these elements in here. But there is also one more thing which is known as the list comprehension, which not only makes our code much easier, but it is also easy to write, right? So for example, we can use, let me just first clear out all this. So guys, again, if we just want to enter num, so we can use it like int I for I in input dot split. So guys, over here what we are doing is we have written input dot split. So basically split function is used to split a string based on the given parameter. So suppose if we give the parameter comma, so if we write the string as a comma b comma c comma d, so our string is going to be converted into a list, and it is going to have four elements that are d c b a, right? So in the similar manner, if you leave the split empty, so it is going to take by default as space, right? So when we are going to take the input like 12, 43, 56, 77, so what we are going to do is we are going to create four elements in our list. So let's try this. 12, 43, 56 and 77. Great. And if we have a list as numbers which are not actually ordered, right? So we can use the sort function to order them, which is like this. So now if we just try to print the num1 list, see, we are getting it in an order. And guys, if you want to calculate the sum of all the elements present in this num1, so you can use the function sum. So sum in the bracket the name of the list, so it is going to return us the sum of all the numbers, so which is 332. Now if we just want to calculate the length, that is the number of elements in the num, so we can use num1. So as we can see, we have 6 elements. Similarly, if we want to calculate the minimum number present in the num1, we can use the min function. And if we want to calculate the maximum, we can use the maximum function. So thanks for watching the video guys. In the next video, we are going to discuss that what are tuples in Python. So do share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching. Bye.